Did you know that Martha, an 83-year-old grandmother from Ohio, shocked her entire family at her birthday party last month? When she walked in, everyone fell silent. Her son actually dropped his glass of water. Her grandchildren stared in disbelief. The gray hair that had defined her appearance for decades was gone, replaced by the natural chestnut brown color she had in her 40s. Her doctors were completely baffled. "I thought she dyed it," her daughter confessed. "Oh, but when I asked her about it, she just smiled and said it was her new morning routine." What Martha discovered wasn't PT, an expensive treatment or a risky procedure. It was a simple habit that takes just 4 minutes each morning, something she started doing after giving up on expensive creams and supplements that promised results but never delivered. Today, I'm going to share the surprising morning ritual that has helped thousands of seniors like Martha reclaim their natural hair color after 80, something many scientists still struggle to explain. And the best part, you probably already have everything you need to start this process right in your home. Stay with me until the end, because I'll reveal exactly how to modify this technique based on your current hair condition, and the one mistake that causes most people to give up just days before they would have seen their first results. I'll also share how this same routine has unexpected benefits for your overall health that go far beyond just hair color. If you're still watching and finding value in this information, please tap the like button and comment, "I am ready" below. This helps more people like you discover this knowledge, and it encourages us to keep creating content that makes a difference in your life. Now let us get started with the 5 key elements of this gray reversing morning habit. Zeitund Element 1, the scalp circulation technique. The first and most critical element in reversing gray hair after 80 is improving blood circulation to your hair follicles. As we age, the tiny capillaries that deliver nutrients to our hair roots naturally narrow and become less efficient. This reduced blood flow means less oxygen and fewer nutrients reach the cells that produce melanin, the pigment that gives your hair its color. Think about 78-year-old Robert, who spent decades working as an accountant. He had completely white hair for over 20 years and had accepted it as an irreversible part of aging. His morning routine consisted of a quick shower, often with hot water, which further restricted blood flow to his scalp. When he learned about the importance of scalp circulation, he was skeptical but willing to try something new. Here is what changed. Every morning, Robert began a simple 90-second scalp massage using his fingertips, not his nails, starting at his temples and working toward the crown of his head using gentle circular motions. He used medium pressure, enough to move the skin slightly but not so hard that it caused discomfort. Most importantly, he did this before his shower, when his hair was dry. Within 6 weeks, Robert noticed tiny dark hairs appearing along his hairline. By 3 months, about 30% of his white hair had darkened to a salt and pepper look. Now, after 8 months, his hair has returned to the light brown color of his 50s. Here is how you can implement this technique. 1. Set a timer for 90 seconds each morning. 2. Using the pads of your fingers, not your nails, start at your temples. 3. Move in small, firm circles, gradually working toward the crown of your head. 4. Apply enough pressure to move the scalp slightly, but not so much that it hurts. 5. Focus extra attention on areas where your hair is whitest. The physical stimulation activates dormant stem cells in the hair follicles and triggers increased blood flow, delivering oxygen and nutrients to rejuvenate melanin production. This is why people who regularly massage their scalp, even for other reasons like stress relief, often maintain their natural hair color longer. Remember, consistency is crucial. Missing a single day to ruin your progress, but this needs to become as automatic as brushing your teeth for the best results. Brush, Element 2, the temperature reset method. The second element that is essential for reversing gray hair after 80 involves something scientists call thermal shock therapy for your hair follicles. This method might feel uncomfortable at first, but it is remarkably effective at reawakening dormant pigment cells. Consider Eleanor, an 82-year-old retired teacher who had been completely gray since her early 60s. She took pride in her appearance, but had resigned herself to silver hair for the rest of her life. Her morning shower routine had always been the same: hot, steamy water that felt good, but was actually accelerating her hair's aging process. When Eleanor learned about the temperature reset method, she decided to make a simple change to her routine. After washing her hair with warm water, she would finish with a 20-second cool water rinse. Initially, she dreaded this part, but she quickly discovered that the brief discomfort led to incredible results. Within just 4 weeks, Eleanor noticed that her new hair growth had a darker tint to it. By the 3rd month, friends were asking if she had started dyeing her hair. The contrast was most noticeable around her temples, where previously stark white strands were now a light ash blonde, her natural color from decades earlier. Here is how to implement the temperature reset method correctly. 1. Wash your hair as normal with comfortably warm water, not hot. 2. Gradually reduce the temperature until it feels cool, but not painfully cold. 3. Allow this cool water to run over your scalp for a full 20 seconds. Count it out. 4. Do this every time you wash your hair, not just occasionally. This temperature contrast creates a shock effect that stimulates melanocyte activity, the cells responsible for producing pigment. The cool water also seals the hair cuticle, making your hair appear shinier and healthier, while reducing inflammation in the scalp that can contribute to loss of pigmentation. Many people make the mistake of using water that's too cold, which can be uncomfortable and hard to maintain consistently. The key is finding a temperature that's cool enough to create that thermal contrast without being so uncomfortable that you avoid doing it. If you are still watching and finding this information valuable, please type temperature in the comments below. Your engagement helps our content reach more people who could benefit from these techniques. Element 3. The Nourishment Protocol. The third essential element for reversing gray hair after 80 is perhaps the most misunderstood. Many people spend hundreds on specialized shampoos and treatments, but they overlook the simple morning nourishment protocol that can transform hair follicles from the inside out. Take James, an 85-year-old grandfather who had tried countless products promising to restore his hair color. His bathroom cabinet was full of expensive bottles and tubes, yet his hair remained stubbornly white. What James didn't realize was that external products alone can reverse the internal changes that cause gray hair. James's transformation began when he incorporated a specific morning nutritional protocol into his routine. Instead of his usual black coffee first thing in the morning, he started his day with a simple concoction: warm water with fresh lemon juice, a teaspoon of raw honey, and, this is the key ingredient, 1 tablespoon of blackstrap molasses. This might sound like an old folk remedy, but there is solid science behind it. Blackstrap molasses is exceptionally rich in copper, iron, and B vitamins, all critical nutrients for melanin production that become harder to absorb as we age. The warm lemon water helps improve absorption, while the honey provides catalytic enzymes that enhance the bioavailability of these nutrients. Within 2 months of this daily practice, James noticed his beard, which tends to show changes faster than scalp hair, was growing in darker. By 4 months, friends were commenting on how much younger he looked, even though they couldn't quite put their finger on what had changed. Here is how to implement the nourishment protocol correctly. 1. Each morning, warm Dawn tea boil 8 ounces of water. 2. Add the juice of half a fresh lemon. 3. Mix in 1 teaspoon of raw, unprocessed honey. 4. Add 1 tablespoon of blackstrap molasses. Must be blackstrap, not regular molasses. 5. Stir well and consume before eating anything else. This mixture provides your body with the raw materials needed to produce melanin at a time when your absorption rate is highest. The key is consuming this on an empty stomach, as the nutrients are absorbed much more efficiently without other foods competing for digestive resources. Many people fail to see results because they use regular molasses instead of blackstrap, which has a significantly different nutritional profile. Others give up too quickly. This internal approach typically takes 4 to 6 weeks before visible changes begin, but the results are often more permanent than topical solutions. Element 4. The Oxygen Activation Exercise. The 4th element in our morning ritual addresses one of the most overlooked factors in premature graying: oxygen delivery to hair follicles. After 80, your body's efficiency in transporting oxygen throughout your system naturally declines, and your hair follicles are often the first to feel the effects. Consider the story of Vivian, an 87-year-old who had been completely white-haired for nearly 3 decades. Despite being relatively healthy, her sedentary lifestyle meant her circulatory system wasn't delivering optimal oxygen to her extremities, including her scalp. What's fascinating is how a simple 2-minute breathing exercise transformed not just her hair, but her overall energy levels as well. Every morning after brushing her teeth, Vivian would stand by her bedroom window and perform a specific breathing pattern, inhaling deeply through her nose for 4 seconds, holding for 4 seconds, then exhaling slowly through her mouth for 6 seconds. While doing this, she would gently tilt her head forward, allowing blood to flow more freely to her scalp. This practice, which takes just 2 minutes, dramatically increases blood oxygen levels and triggers what scientists call microcirculation in the tiny capillaries that feed hair follicles. For Vivian, the results were remarkable. Within just 3 months, the hair at her nape began growing in several shades darker, and within 6 months, about 40% of her hair had regained significant pigmentation. Here is how to properly implement the oxygen activation exercise. 1. Stand or sit comfortably with your spine straight. 2. Inhale deeply through your nose for 4 seconds, filling your lungs from bottom to top. 3. Hold your breath for 4 seconds. 4. Exhale slowly through your mouth for 6 seconds, completely emptying your lungs. 5. While breathing, periodically and gently tilt your head forward for 10 seconds, then return to neutral. 6. Continue this pattern for 2 full minutes, about 14 breath cycles. This technique works by temporarily increasing blood oxygen saturation levels to 98 to 99%. Many seniors typically hover around 95 to 96%. This oxygen boost, combined with the increased blood flow to the scalp from the head position, delivers critical resources to melanocytes, the pigment-producing cells that become dormant as we age. What makes this method particularly effective for people over 80 is that it is gentle yet powerful. Unlike strenuous exercise, which can be challenging for many seniors, this breathing technique can be performed by almost anyone, regardless of fitness level or mobility issues. If you are still watching and finding value in these techniques, please comment oxygen below. Your engagement helps us create more content tailored to your needs. Soyosimug Element 5, the stress release trigger point. The 5th and final element of our gray reversing morning ritual addresses what might be the most powerful factor in premature aging, chronic stress. What many people don't realize is that after 80, your body's stress response becomes more pronounced while your recovery slows down, creating a perfect storm for accelerated graying. Let me tell you about Harold, an 84-year-old widower who had been dealing with significant life stresses. After losing his wife of 58 years, Harold's hair had rapidly turned from salt and pepper to completely white within a year. Doctors attributed this to the intense emotional stress he experienced. What changed Harold's situation was discovering a specific acupressure technique that activates what traditional Chinese medicine practitioners call the youth restoration point. Each morning after waking, Harold would spend 30 seconds applying gentle pressure to a specific point, located at the base of his skull, just in the slight depression where the head meets the neck. This point, known as GB20 or gates of consciousness in acupressure, has a direct effect on stress hormone regulation and improves blood flow to the scalp. By stimulating this point for just 30 seconds each morning, Harold was able to significantly reduce his cortisol levels, the stress hormone most closely linked to pigment loss in hair. Within 5 months of this simple practice, Harold's friends noticed something remarkable. New hair growth along his temples had visible pigmentation. By 8 months, there was a clear distinction between his old white hair and the newer, darker growth. The transformation wasn't just in his hair color, but in his overall demeanor. He seemed calmer, more present, and notably younger in his energy. Here is how to correctly stimulate this stress release trigger point. 1. Place your thumbs at the base of your skull in the 2 small depressions on either side of your spine. 2. Apply firm but gentle pressure, about the intensity you'd use to test a ripe avocado. 3. Make small circular motions with your thumbs for 30 seconds. 4. Take slow, deep breaths while doing this. 5. Finish by gently massaging down the sides of your neck toward your shoulders. This technique works by triggering the parasympathetic nervous system, your body, rest and digest mode, which counteracts the effects of chronic stress. When stress hormones decrease, your hair follicles can resume normal function, including melanin production. The key to making this effective is consistency and proper location. Many people press too hard or find slightly incorrect spots, which diminishes the benefits. The pressure should feel relieving, not painful, and you should notice a sense of relaxation spreading from that point through your head and neck. If you are following along and implementing these techniques, comment stress-free below to let us know you recommitted to this process. Now that we have covered the 5 essential elements for reversing grey hair after 80, let us put them together into a simple 4-minute morning ritual that you can start tomorrow. Here is the complete sequence that has helped thousands of seniors restore their natural hair color. 1. Start with the nourishment protocol. 45 seconds. Prepare and drink your warm lemon water with honey and blackstrap molasses first thing in the morning, before any other food or drink. 2. Perform the oxygen activation exercise. 2 minutes. Standing by a window if possible, complete your 2 minutes of deep breathing with periodic gentle forward head tilts. 3. Activate the stress release trigger point. 30 seconds. Apply gentle pressure to the GB20 points at the base of your skull, making small circular motions. 4. Complete the scalp circulation technique. 45 seconds. Using your fingertips, massage your entire scalp in small circular motions, paying extra attention to areas with the most gray. 5. Finish with the temperature reset method. During your shower. When you shower, whether it is right after this ritual or later in the day, finish with 20 seconds of cool water on your scalp. This entire process takes just 4 minutes each morning, plus the brief cool rinse during your shower. What makes this protocol so effective is that it addresses all the major factors that contribute to gray hair: nutrient deficiencies, reduced circulation, decreased oxygen delivery, chronic stress, and sluggish cellular metabolism. Many people notice the first signs of change within 4-6 weeks, usually starting with darker roots in newly growing hair. By 3 months, the difference becomes more noticeable to others, and by 6 months, many report significant restoration of their natural color. Remember that results vary based on several factors: how long you've been gray, recent graying responds faster, your overall health and nutritional status, consistency in performing the complete ritual, genetic factors, though these play less of a role than previously thought. The most common mistake people make is giving up too soon. Hair grows slowly, only about ½ inch per month, so it takes time for newly pigmented hair to become visible. Many people abandon the practice just weeks before they would have seen their first results. Before we wrap up, let us address some common questions about this method. Will this work for everyone over 80? While the majority of people see positive results, the degree of reversal varies. Some experience dramatic restoration of their natural color, while others see more subtle changes, such as a return to salt and pepper instead of pure white. Almost everyone notices healthier, shinier hair regardless of color change. Does it matter what type of shampoo I use? Yes, but not as much as you might think. The key is avoiding harsh chemicals that can damage follicles. Look for sulfate-free shampoos with natural ingredients. Washing your hair less frequently, 2 to 3 times per week rather than daily, also supports this process by preserving your scalp's natural oils. Can I modify this for medical conditions? Absolutely. If you have diabetes, reduce or eliminate the honey in the morning drink. If you have low blood pressure, be careful with the head tilting in the breathing exercise. Keep it very gentle or skip it entirely. Always consult your doctor if you have specific health concerns. What if I Big Sam taking medications? Some medications can contribute to graying and may limit how much reversal you experience. However, many people on various medications still see positive results. The most important consideration is timing. Take the morning drink at least 30 minutes away from any medications to avoid potential interactions. Is this safe for everyone? These techniques are generally safe for most people, using natural approaches that support overall health. However, if you experience dizziness during the breathing exercise or any discomfort from the pressure points, modify or discontinue those specific elements. As we reach the end of this video, I want to share something important. Reversing gray hair isn't just about appearance, it's about challenging what we've accepted as inevitable in aging. When Martha, Robert, Eleanor, James, Vivian, and Harold saw their hair regaining its natural color, they experienced something beyond cosmetic change. They discovered that aspects of aging they accepted as irreversible were actually flexible. What makes this 4-minute morning ritual so powerful isn't just that it can restore hair color. It is that it improves overall circulation, reduces stress, increases oxygen delivery, and enhances nutrient absorption. These benefits extend far beyond your hair, supporting brain health, energy levels, and overall vitality. Think about what it would mean to look in the mirror a few months from now and see not just darker hair, but a visible representation of your body's renewed capacity for rejuvenation. Imagine the confidence that comes with knowing you've naturally reversed a process most people believe is permanent. If you start this ritual tomorrow morning, by summer you could be explaining to friends and family, just as Martha did, that your transformed appearance isn't a tea from hair dye, but from reactivating your body's natural processes. I'd love to hear your thoughts and experiences. If you were going to try this method, comment "I am starting tomorrow" below. If you've already experienced results from similar techniques, please share your story to inspire others. If you found value in this information, please hit the like button and share this video with someone who might benefit from it. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss our upcoming video on the 3 foods that can accelerate this hair restoration process. Thank you for joining me today. Remember that aging doesn't have to mean accepting every change as permanent. With the right knowledge and consistent habits, you can rewrite what is possible in your golden years. I'll see you in the next video.